Slenderman woke up one day to a beautiful and stormy morning. Slenderman said, "Oh boy, I can't wait to start my day." Then Slenderman looked on the left of his bed and he found Jeff in his bed. Slenderman, paranoid, shook Jeff to wake him up. Jeff said, "Good morning, sunshine." And Slenderman asked, "Why the fuck are you in my bed?" Jeff said, "Don't you know, silly, we did it last night." Slenderman paused for a second, then asked Jeff, "How come I don't recall any of this?" Jeff answered Slenderman's question in a romantic, seductive way.
"Well, Slendy, we met in the bar. You said hi, and I said hi back, and then we got a ton of drinks. Then things started escalating after that. We went back to your place, and then you started kissing me. I was shocked when you did so, because of course you have no face, but I just went along with it, you know."
There was a long pause after that. Jeff put his pants back on and said,
"Well, Slendy, all I can say is I did have a pretty good time last night. You really know how to please a man."
Slender is still shocked by what has happened at this point. As soon as Jeff went through the door, Slenderman screamed, "Wait, did you use a condom?" But as soon as he said that, Jeff closed the door and continued on with his day. Then the next 3 days, Slenderman missed his period, which is kind of a shocker because he's a man. But anyway, fuck logic. Slenderman then took a pregnancy test, and he waited a couple hours to see what the results of his pregnancy test were. He became frigid at this point in time. Then he looked at the test, and the results came out positive. Slenderman was pregnant. Slenderman rushed back to Jeff's place in a cold sweat. As Slenderman opened the door, he found a lot of dried up blood all around Jeff's apartment. Slenderman found Jeff lying down on his bed, about ready to die. On his chest there was a note saying this: "I have finally killed Jeff the Killer. Victory is mine. Meet your new maker, world, for this psycho bitch is ready to pounce and kill. Jane." Slenderman was disgusted, and he shed a tear that the father of his child would not be able to see his kid. Jeff then looked at him and said his final words:
"Slenderman, sure, I've been an ass to you for a long period of time, but because you didn't mind at all about my behavior, I just want to say, I love you."
Then Jeff faded away. For some reason, Fade to Black was playing in the background music. Slenderman got back to his senses and shed a little tear that he wanted to avenge Jeff's death. But then it seemed as though Jane's body was hung by Miss P, and she was hanged by herself. So Slenderman had some relief. Slenderman went home and cried a ton of tears, though, that the only one that he ever loved in his life had died. 9 months later, after grief and agony and the death of Jeff, Slenderman's water broke. Slenderman rushed to the hospital by his two best friends, Ben and Smile Dog. Slenderman went through a lot of trouble, but then he gave birth to his newborn son. His name was Slender the Killer. But on the negative side, his son was a pony. Ben and Smile were like, "What the fuck?" And Slender went, "What the fuck," too. But in the end, he found love and compassion in his son, even though he's a bona fide version of Slenderman. The end.